I will be doing a quick overview of what has happened since last episode, but I want you to know that today's episode is brought to you by contacts.com. Whether you're nearsighted, farsighted, multi-sighted, or just want to change the color of your eyes, we got you covered. Order easy, get them shipped directly to you with a mage hand. We've got contacts for your special eyes. All right. Anyway,
My friend.
My brand.
I just ordered from them and I paid for next day shipping, and the bastard still hasn't shipped it. So fuck 1-800
Hey,
contacts.
whoa! That's our sponsor, dude. You can't, you can't go bash. All right. So the last time on Temples and Dinos, as a group, you were kind of trying to figure out the best way to help find more information of the Soulmonger. Your travels had you end up in the Temple of Savras, where you met with the head priest of the temple, Grandfather Zatembe, who through his crystal ball was able to glean information on a dark obelisk in the southern regions of Chult. Also there, you found that there is other individuals who were willing to assist you, whether they be guides or other individuals that have things to look for.
Whoa. Sorry, before you go on, I'm getting like a big ol'... There's a bunch of runtime errors coming up that are like bad allocation, unable to save files.
Huh.
Know what that is.
Did you happen to update before we started?
No.
Okay, you might.
Does it have an update coming?
I updated. I had an update, so you might want to close out.
I did not update, but I'm still okay.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
In any case, Annette was interested in exploring the Eldani Basin and said that she would donate some money towards your expeditions as far as finding a guide. The guides that you were looking into was Musharib, the albino dwarf that wanted to reclaim the forge of his people, and then also Kawasha and his Vegapygmy Kupalue, who is also known as Weed. At the very end of the last session, we were in the middle of a alarm for the city, in which they were being attacked by a swarm of undead, and that is where we are going to pick up. So, top of the combat tracker, Crow's going to be going. He is not here, so I will fight for him. I believe he would probably want to use a bonus action to swing his spiritual weapon at
That's what.
Skeleton 2. He rolled a 23, which I believe is more than enough to hit that skeleton. And he does a...
Off strong.
What?
Starting off strong.
He does enough to destroy that skeleton. And then what would Crow do? Let's see. What kind of spells can I just... what spell can I use?
It's like being in WoW and you get mind controlled and they blow all of your cooldowns for some reason.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to use a level 2 spell. No, I'm going to use a cantrip, Toll the Dead.
The zombie?
He's going to use it on, yeah, the zombie. Thank you. So he must succeed a wisdom saving throw against 13. Let's see. Zombie, what can you do? Wisdom saving throw. Oh, he failed that shit. So he's going to take... If the target is missing any of its hit points, it takes even increased damage. Alright, let's take that. Ooh. That's a big ol' 8 damage. Sick. Good work, Crow. For whom the bell tolls. Oops. Skeleton turn. This skeleton is going to give you a pet there, Mr. Sapphire, with his short bow.
As if.
Here we go.
Short bow at point blank?
Short sword, sorry.
Okay.
How's a Nate treat ya?
That's a good question, for which I have an answer coming in just a moment.
Doesn't AC normally just start at 10?
Look, I try to ask just so that you guys feel like you're a part of it, you know. I have all the information here. I just want you guys to...
Okay.
I would assume...
I have an AC of 14.
So that's a... You nimbly leap out of the way on that. Ire, you are up.
I will bonus action Hunter's Mark that skeleton, and then fire straight and true, hopefully. 15.
15 hits the skeleton. You rattle
Cool.
his
So
skull
that's-
through the eye socket. What you do?
Wow, okay. I do this much damage.
That's a decent amount of damage there, sir. Is there... Oh, that includes the hunter's mark already?
Includes the Hunter's Mark.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nice.
The 1d8 is the bow, the 1d6 is the Hunter's Mark. And the 3 is just also for the bow.
Okay. Sorry, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Verlassen. Let's see what he's got.
Underwave.
I think he's used his breath weapon already. I can't remember if he used his Tides of Chaos. Let's see. I'm gonna have him I don't think we'll need to do that. I think we'll just do a simple thunder clap. Each creature within range other than you has to succeed on a Constitution saving throw. So a thunder clap, DC of 12. Constitution saving throw, Mr. Zambe. Ooh, zombies have very high constitution and yet unable to find purchase there. Alright. So let's see here. Zombie took fatal damage, but he is a zombie. So
Alright.
that means that he gets to roll a Constitution saving throw. Nope, he's dead.
Boom.
Boom, zombie. Sapphire,
Me.
it's a you.
It's a me. Get to attack. Holy cow! What happened to my window? Yeah, I'm gonna attack the last remaining skeleton.
All right.
Yeah, I got nothing magical to help me. So we'll just go ahead and.
Oh, I forgot. Never mind. Bardic inspiration from that critical fail. You don't need it.
I think you barely hit him. Just barely, barely got the amount of AC that you needed.
Skeleton.
It's
I think you dropped that damage on Shava.
yeah. I don't.
I'll move that. unless that was on purpose, that's fine too.
Is there like a targeting thing?
You should be able to just drop it onto the
Onto the. Okay,
onto
I was
the
just rolling into the tracker thing, right?
yeah. So were you rolling the die or were you pulling over the blood thing? What were you doing?
I was rolling the die from um aiming for the chat tray where I typically have been rolling, but that's yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, that's interesting. Uh,
Maybe I released my mouse click at a weird point or something.
that's okay. You killed that skeleton, so no problem
Did
there.
I?
And with that, battle is complete. The commoners that are outside the sealed gate begin to cheer as it becomes apparent that their endangerment has subsided. Um, Kawathe, who was defending another entrance, comes over and says, "Well done, heroes! I see that you have the mettle to take on the undead." Forgot about his voice, huh? um, and with that, he says, "Clearly, I underestimated you. Maybe we can negotiate that price a little lower."
How
It's
low
always
can
good to
we
hear.
go?
And I believe it was 5 gold a day, right? So he says that he'll go as low as 2 gold a day, and there is potential for that to get even lower depending on how many undead um, are destroyed in the up and coming adventures.
That seems far more reasonable.
There you go. Went from 150 gold pieces paid up front to 60. It's a pretty good decrease.
This is a pretty good
Yeah.
decrease. Do we have 60 gold up front right now?
Um,
Yeah.
well, you do have someone that was planning on giving you
Oh yeah, that one girl.
some assistance there. Yes.
Arch.
And so Crow reminds you, of course.
Yeah.
And it repeating that girl's voice spectacularly. At this time, can I get a perception check from you three? From you two, sorry.
Perception. Nice. 5 plus 5 is 10. Cool.
At this point in time, Sapphire, you start to notice that Shava is scratching profusely along her scales.
Uh-oh. Um, shift back. I don't know much about druids, but that doesn't seem normal.
She seems to be extremely distracted by something that is bothering her as she's scratching with now both her hind legs, and she seems to almost be tremoring at a rate that is alarming.
Anyone, guys?
Kawathe chimes in and says, "How long have you adventurers been in Chota?"
Just a couple of days so far.
And he says, "Have you been to the bathhouses or done anything to clean yourself?"
Yeah. Maybe not Shava.
And he goes on to say, "Chult has a very has a very okay." He just goes on and explains that there's a huge insect problem in Chult, to the point where insect repellent has been infused in most body wash and creams and things along those lines. And the reason why you should never really leave the city without putting on insect repellent is because there is a disease carried by the flies and the other insects called the shivering sickness.
Ooh.
Does not sound good.
He says that the constitution of said person with this disease is severely reduced, and that it would be extremely dangerous and reckless for anyone to continue out of the city while afflicted.
Well, she better get.
And he says, "As a fellow druid, I have some rituals that may speed up the recovery process. Normally, it might take up to 2 days to shake off the affliction. But I will need a volunteer to help me gather the things I need from local mines."
Did you say mines?
Verlassen says,
Mimes?
"What? Mines?"
Verlassen.
Verlassen, during this point, Shava finds a way to return her form, but she is still continuing to shake uncontrollably and scratch. So Verlassen walks over to pick her up and say, "I'll do whatever you need. I've been itching to find some nice ore." Ore. And you can tell by the ease in which he picks up Shava that that surf and turf has definitely gone straight into his muscles. So, with that, he says, "All right, we'll be on our way." And he turns to the little weed and says, You go ahead and take them forward. We will meet up with you in no time flat." And the weed salutes and says, "I am weed." And Kawathe says, "Weed will take you into the forest. Besides, I had to gather some more supplies. We will need another boat, so you can take the one that we already have."
Right.
Yeah.
This is an inauspicious start to our journeys here.
Crow says, "In that?"
All right. Yes, we should go find a net before we head off.
And Crow leads you back to the Temple of Savras to find her. Let's see here. So it looks like Annette has kind of put on a simple garb and simple armor. Definitely doesn't look battle ready. But as she says, or as she said, and also continues to say, she'll stay out of your way as much as possible, and she hands you a sack of gold, and she says that here's 100 gold pieces to cover any equipment that you need.
Thank you.
And Weed seems to be eager to get on the voyage, and starts kind of tugging at Crow's frock, I guess, and pointing out towards where the camp was that you originally met him in Kawathe. And just as you leave the Temple of Savras, you hear kind of something similar to the cracking of a whip, but with the sound of or with the volume of lightning. And with that, there is a tear in the air, and it almost looks like some kind of demonic mouth, and it kind of puckers up, and it spits out this humanoid form onto the ground, and it kind of lands on its feet in the classic Iron Man pose.
Nice. The old 3-point landing.
Yes, the 3-point landing.
The old superhero stance.
A golf clap.
And that would be the return of your very good friend, Mr. Shiogorath.
Ah, son of a bitch.
I want to walk up to Shiogorath and slap him.
All right.
Like across the face, like on the ass, like good game, or
The face.
Across the face. Shiogorath, you take 1 point of embarrassment damage.
Sure.
You mean the chin?
Ugh. How's it going, guys?
ask where you've been, but I don't suppose I'd really understand either way.
It just, yeah. Bitches be bitches. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I don't understand. So.
Anyway, what's up? Like, where are we? What's going on? Can we party? We need to get out of here.
We've figured out our situation with the guide, but
guide?
This.
We found weed.
Weed, sweet.
I
Alright.
am weed.
Well, I'm just gonna tag along. You guys do you, and but we gotta have some fun. I need to just not think about people or parents or bitches for a while. So let's move on. I just walk out of the building.
I don't think. Are we in a building?
You were kind of like right at the threshold of leaving the Temple of Savras.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I follow.
All right. Let me bring you guys up. Well, let me explain that. Weed takes you past the camp, or past into the camp, and he goes into one of the tents and he comes back with a bag almost as big as he is. And this is a little guy, right? So he kind of like offers it up to one of you to kind of hold on to it. He's struggling a lot.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And then he beckons you to follow him, and he takes you down to a riverbank. And he goes over to a couple of bushes, and he starts to pull, and like the set of the bushes start to come along with it, and he kind of pushes it over, and it turned out to be a bottom of a very viney and floral canoe. And he gestures toward it and says, "I am weed."
I suppose we should get in.
Yeah.
I
So what did
jumped
I
in the
just get?
canoe.
So,
What did I just get from weed?
inside that sack is a bunch of supplies. Some of them you don't quite understand. They're like different vials and things like that. You can kind of figure out that there are some food rations inside there as well. There's this weird kind of like cloth device with sticks on them and other things, but generally speaking, just kind of like gear to help you on your trip.
Okay.
Is what it seems.
Do we have like within our in character, do we have a map of Chult at all?
We do. Um,
Got that pulled up, and we know that we're headed to the marked H that's on there, that's down by the mountains, correct?
No, that was for the other guide.
Different guide. Okay, I'm sorry. So then
Yeah.
we have, I assume that we had marked on here an estimate of where we're intending to go.
Annette speaks up and states that following the river of Soshinstar will take you to the Aldani Basin, which is where she had her vision of red-robed wizards, stating that might have some kind of indication or connection to the
Soulstone or whatever.
Yes, the Soulmonger, or the obelisk. And all you know is that the obelisk is south, and that you know that it is near a volcano.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess going down that river would be a good start. Find anything super valuable there. We could keep moving. The Mist Cliffs, and because I know or at least that's where I hail from. Maybe my people might know something as well.
Okay.
Good direction to start.
Seems reasonable to me.
Sounds good. Uh, Weed jumps in the boat and kind of comically, of course, able to scamper over the top, and you see his feet kind of flop over, and then he's at the helm, and he's just pointing up the river and says, "I am Weed."
All right.
Before we leave, I'd like to give a letter to Annette. You in a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good. I should probably also put Annette on here, just in case. Wait. So, uh, nope. We want that. So I'm going to sync your view here. So you guys start paddling up the river here. You're able to cover quite a bit of water before having to make camp as it gets dark. And Weed kind of points you off into a direction and has you set on the bank of a or on the beach of one side of the river, and he holds up a hand with his fingers splayed out and said, "I am Weed," and he jumps off,
I am Groot.
and he kind of walks around, and he's like looking under brushes and other things, and he's waddling past and looking at different plants and things like that. And then he eventually walks into the forest, messes around a bit. You can hear kind of like some shuffling and things like that. And he comes back, and he's like pulling on the plants and kind of making it so that there's like a pathway going into the forest density, and he beckons you to come over.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when you go in there, you can see that there's like a winding path, and you think it's kind of strange that the path is so particular and snake shaped. And you see that there's a clearing with these almost, well, they are like handmade hovels of roots and branches, kind of like a makeshift tent of the very earth, and he gestures and says, "I am Weed," and goes into one of them and kind of lays down.
Oh, okay. So it's getting dark then?
Correct.
Ish. As a ranger, can I just like forage around the nearby area to see if there's any food, so we don't have to like rations that we have?
Yes, as a ranger, I do believe you have a feat of being able to do that.
Yeah, it says when you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Okay. Sounds
I'm gonna go with them because I have dark vision and I can see stuff.
all right. Sounds like a plan. Give me a perception check, Mr. Iyer, and then Shiogorath, can you give me a D6 roll for helping?
Nice. Any.
Let's see here. Let me make a roll here. Uh, sorry.
Pro in the net.
What?
What was the question?
Nothing. Sorry, I didn't ask you a question. I was busy. Um, as you guys are walking through the forest here, um, what happens is you're passing by obviously mostly foreign flora and fauna to you, and
I used to live here.
oh, that's right. That's true. So you are walking by and you recognize a lot of these things, and you're looking for either some beast or some fruit bearing plant to make some food. Um, when all of a sudden, Sheogorath, you get your foot caught. Uh, Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. You fall flat on your face and are prone. And when you turn around, you notice that there are these two flowers that are kind of looming over you, and they are reaching out towards you as if to give you a
nice.
hug of some kind.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and just fire an Eldritch Bolt at one of the flowers.
Eldritch Bolt. Go ahead and do so, please. That's an 11 to hit. You are able to strike one of those flowers. Go ahead and roll damage. $11 points of damage, huh?
Wow.
Alright. And then I will need you to roll initiative for me.
Me too?
Yes, you as well.
Okay.
Alright, you're able to start first. You notice these flowers and you do realize, or you do start to recognize what they are.
Yeah. I'm going to... How close are the flowers together?
Pretty close together.
Okay. I'm sorry in advance for this. I'm gonna I guess Sheogorath didn't I guess and then I'm going to, I guess it's a bonus action. shoot. Yeah, I guess that's all I can do because it takes a bonus action. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do.
That's fine. All right. And which one are you shooting?
One that's healthy.
Healthy. Okay. You hit. All right. You kill that one outright.
Nice.
It wilts. And it just kind of makes. Well, it just wilts. Shiogorath, you're up. You're on the ground, by the way.
Okay. Clarifying question.
Yep.
Obviously, I should have done it sooner. So for cantrips, I can use them once per short rest, and they don't take up a spell slot, correct?
Incorrect. Cantrips can be used at will as a primary action as many times as you want.
Oh, sick. I'm just gonna fire it, and I'll just blast at it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you hit. And it is dead. And it falls over. Taking a look at it, you're reminded, Ire, that these are what they call tri-flowers. And they are flowers that have different blossoms on their flowers. And each one does something a little bit different. You do remember that each blossom, one of them kind of anesthetizes its enemy. One has an acidic effect, and the last one is what ensnares and entraps prey. So a pretty ridiculous flower.
All right. I guess I just go over to Sugaroth and be like, careful now. These fishes, if you aren't careful.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks for the heads up. After.
Helped you out, didn't I?
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, just still agitated, stupid people. Anyway, I just get up and start continuing on.
Okay. After that, you two are able to score some meats. There are some smaller immature adolescent dinosaurs that you were able to hunt down and capture and bring back to the camp.
You were only able to carry back 100 pounds.
You were only able to carry back 100 pounds. You killed much more than that, though. Alright. So, food-wise, definitely nothing that you had to worry about. Ration-wise, and that was a successful night.